Imagine this, it's 11 at night and you're working out. While you're doing it, you start thinking about this show that your friend has told you about. Because you have nothing else to do, you decide to check it out once you're done. Minutes later, you see a text from him asking if you've watched it yet. You tell him that you're going to watch it right now. So you hop on a call, and that's story on how I was introduced to the show, Murder Drones. Now there are plenty of things I can go on talking about when it comes to this show, but then this video will probably be like 30 minutes long, so I'm going to keep it simple. I love this show. I love the characters, I love the story, there's psychotic women, and of course, I love the violence. I don't know why, but this show kind of just makes all the neurons in my brain just fire in all directions. With that all out of the way, time for me to be a little fanboy and explain the show in the dumbest way possible. We start off with a quick exposition for the main character. We're told that these guys are called worker drones. Their jobs are to mine out planets. So this show doesn't take place on Earth, but instead on another planet called Copper 9. The missions are being sent out by not SC Johnson. Because it's a show about robots, humans have to f*** up in some kind of way. And what do? They blow up the planet. As a result of this, they accidentally wipe out all biological life on the planet. Besides dogs, it's canon that they're immortal. The only survivors of the explosion are the worker drones. So what do? They form this thing called society. They have jobs, they have freedom, and somehow have families. Something tells me if I start asking questions on how this works, I'm going to be on the wrong side of the internet. Anyways, the parent company finds out that everyone is dead, and the worker drones are basically rogue AI. So they send a spaceship down to them that has disassembly drones inside, and if it wasn't obvious on what their job is, it is to kill everyone. And these guys have no chill. They start firing missiles and shit. Because the outside is way too dangerous, they decide to build a bunker with 3 doors to make sure everyone is safe. We are then actually introduced to the main character. This is Uzi, an edgy, rebellious teenager. Can't you tell that she's edgy? Well, all your concerns are brought forth as she brings a gun to school, takes the safety off, and accidentally fires it. I wonder if their AI was based in the American school experience. We then see her in the nurse's office, and we are introduced to one of the side characters. This is Thad, the typical jock. Uzi and Thad talk for a bit, and she tells him that she's going to go to the murder drone lair to get a part to finish her gun. When Thad starts to question if she should, she shoves the gun in his face. She's already convicted of being a school shooter once. I don't think she needs to do it again. She storms out of the nurse's office and wakes up to an alarm at 3 in the morning. She grabs her stuff and steals a door key, which is a floppy disk. She uses the key to open one of the doors, and we're introduced to her father as he stops her. This is Khan. He's the guy that runs his entire place and may or may not have a door fetish.
Good door. Good door.
Please stay away from me. Uzi convinces Khan to let her out by saying that she wants to look at the first door. They then kick her ass out for a bit and she starts walking to the murder drone lair. When she finally gets there, we see a big ass spire made of corpses. That actually looks cool. Uzi walks into the spire and finds a green battery thing. Before she does anything, a murder drone flies in. She quickly runs for cover but is spotted. She charges the railgun but ends up getting tossed back and drops it. We then learn that Uzi supports piracy.
Whoa, and they said pirating all that anime was useless.
Before she could react, she gets stabbed with the murder drone's tail, and the tail is actually a syringe that has acid. As she's being thrown around, we see a big ass hole being burned into her hand. She grabs her gun before the murder drone draws his and blows his head off. While Uzi is celebrating, the bro just respawns, and Uzi basically spawn camping his ass, grabs an arm and bitch slaps him.
Did you just slap me with that arm?
That was not the voice I was expecting. When you think of murder or killers, you would assume that the antagonist would sound pretty intimidating or scary, but no, not for this guy. Little did I know at the time that he was going to be the best character. Apparently after blowing this guy's head off, he has a mild concussion, and thinks Uzi is another disassembly drone. He then introduces himself. This is N. Just the letter N. I'm very bad at remembering names. This is the only show I can confidently remember names in, simply because they span from 1 to 5 letters. N and Uzi talk for a bit. Before Uzi leaves, N offers to fix her hand. And how does he do that? How do they have saliva? Uzi and N talk a little bit more, and he introduces us to the other murder drones. First, there's V, a batshit insane woman. Then there's J, another batshit insane woman, and N's Dami Mommy. Uzi realizes that she can possibly fix the spaceship and get everyone off the planet. The other 2 murder drones come back, and Uzi just hauls ass. As she gets out, she's spotted by V. Jay realizes that N has lost several brain cells and bitch slaps him to get rid of his concussion. N quickly realizes that he was cross-teaming, and after realizing this, he runs after Uzi. Uzi quickly runs back inside the bunker and tries to close the door. Before the door shuts, N catches it and pries it open. He then uses his tail to stab the key out of Uzi's hand and breaks the console. This opened all the doors in the hallway. Everyone just full sends it, besides this guy. He tries to be cocky, and like the idiot he is, he dies an idiot's death. N starts shooting grenades and blows this guy up, then jumps on this guy, then cuts this guy in half. He then jumps into the vents. Khan walks up behind Uzi and sees all the bodies behind her. N then jumps out of the ceiling as Uzi points her gun at him, and she's stabbed and pinned to the wall. She drops her gun and tells her dad to shoot, but Khan realizes out of all the people in the bunker, Uzi is the only one to actually play Raid Shadow Legends, and just leaves her. After all this, N feels bad and ends his evil arc. You never see him like this again, by the way. V and J come crawling in from the ceiling for some reason and congratulate N for not being useless. V flies into the vent so she can kill more people. J stays with N and gives him a pen. N starts asking J questions on what the company actually has planned for them after the job is done. J, seeing this as a sign of betrayal, does the only logical thing and gives N a virus. A girl giving a guy a virus. So N f***ing dies of an STD. Uzi comes up from the corner and takes the virus out of N. If only it was that easy. We then see Thad getting his ass kicked as V and J are cornering the other worker drones. N and Uzi pull up to save everyone's asses, and the final fight of the episode comes down to a 2v2. Uzi takes J, N takes V. Uzi throws a pen at J, and I'm assuming her ass was lagging because she just stood there and got hit by a pen. Uzi points her gun at J, but J pulls out a gun from her hand. Shit, now that I think about it, where and how do they store their weapons? Do they have an inventory system similar to Minecraft? Because that's what I'm guessing. Anyways, J pulls the pen out of her head, and Uzi does the Mario and stomps on her ass like a Goomba, forcing the pen into J's face. We then see N is getting pieced up and fails to perform in front of the ladies.
Ah! My mind's in a weird place! Don't read into this!
He then gets hit by a missile. J takes the pen out of her face and fires an EMP, which disables Uzi. We then switch back to N and V, and they are just straight boxing. N sees Uzi on the ground, and his attempt to save her involves him getting tetanus. He then kicks V into the ground. Uzi wakes up with J standing in front of her. J kept shit-talking Uzi, and that gave her enough time to stab her with her own tail. J trips over, and Uzi blows her ass up. We see Uzi telling her father to piss off because she's just mad that she got all the in-game bonuses for Raid from her favorite YouTuber, and then just flies away with Uzi and V. We are outside, and Uzi reveals her plan that she's gonna wipe out humanity, and I don't blame her. That's it for episode 1. I would have talked about the entire show, but it's not finished yet at the moment, and their episodes are a bit over 20 minutes long, so I would like to keep my sanity while editing, thank you. If you enjoyed this dumb explanation, maybe I'll explain the rest of the season in stupid ways. I don't know. Overall, I just really like this show. Anyways, if you did enjoy the video, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.